guys are fighting at a pace and putting such mustard on each shot and fighting at a skill level, you rarely see all those elements combined.
Big
in a
body
fight.
shot by Marquez.
And, you know, referee Rafael Ramos has not had to break these guys up for one clinch at all that I can remember.
I didn't even know he was in the ring.
Nope, they're just fighting their way straight through the fight.
You know, not to say it's quite on that level yet, but in certain ways it's reminiscent of Corrales and Castillo. No
the number
clinches.
of bombs that are being landed.
I guess not, but no clinches, a fast pace, hard shots, high skill level. Unclear who will ultimately impose their will.
That fight was in 2003, I believe, on our competitor network, Showtime. One difference, maybe those guys were slightly heavier punches, but neither of them had the volume that these guys are producing tonight. Good left hook by Diaz again, and a right hand at the end of the round by Marquez. And there's blood above the corner of Marquez's right eye. And I was just about to say, Emmanuel, whose face can hold up? Whose features will hold up under all this leather?
Let's go to the head. Please. Where's the grease? Where's the Vaseline? Juan, wait. Let me work the cut. I'm winning. You're winning, but very little. By very little. You see, the referee looks like he changed sides on him.
Marquez has been cut in that same spot before against both Manny Pacquiao and Joel Casamayor. Nacho Beristain has worked that cut before, and he's working it again tonight. Diaz was cut badly in the Campbell fight, but other than that, his features have held up very well despite his non-stop high-pressure style in other fights. Another big left hook by Diaz. I mentioned the body shot disparity. I believe it's Marquez, really, who's thrown more body shots early and is landing them at a high rate. Blood begins to trickle again from the cut just outside Marquez's right eye. There, Diaz got in a solid body shot against the ropes. Marquez is beginning to become more conscious of trying to block Diaz's left hook. Diaz is adjusting by going to the body instead.
If Marquez is not setting a trap when he's retreating to the ropes, that's a very good sign for Diaz.
But I was very impressed with the point that you mentioned, Jim, that he's been able to neutralize Diaz's left hooks lately. He has not been hit with any of those left hooks. And that's a sign of a very intelligent fighter.
punches up.
Uppercut, uppercut, uppercut. How many times do you see that? Left hook, back into the ropes. All-out war. What happened to the boxing?
But the clean of blows are landed by Marquez. Even the crowd is excited. But Marquez is landing most of the cleaner blows in those exchanges there.
Diaz eats a hard right hand, lands a hard right hand, takes a hard right hand. Crowd rises to its feet again.
Look, don't let this guy rest, okay? Don't let him rest. Don't let him rest, okay? Look, you're not stepping with that jab, though, baby, okay? Give me a deep one. Deep one. Let him out slow. Again, deep one. Let him out slow. Look.
What is it? 7th round. It's the 7th round. Don't go to the rope, son. Just move your head. Don't let him build. Don't let him build, okay? Where's the Vaseline? I want yellow Vaseline. Don't expose yourself, Juan. Come on, in the center of the ring. Throw the combinations, beautiful combinations. And then move.
Can anybody believe we're already halfway through the fight? What a pace. Power punches through 6 rounds. Marquez 128 out of 290. Diaz 122 out of 369. I mentioned the body shots. The advantage there so far, Marquez, he's landed 30 to 23 for Diaz. Harold, that's not really how fights are scored by judges. How do you have it?
No, Jim. 4 rounds to 2. 58, 56, Juan Diaz. Jim, Juan Manuel Marquez really ought to stay off them ropes. When he goes on the ropes, Juan Diaz just pummels him like you're watching right here. When the fight goes into the center of the ring, Juan Manuel Marquez does very, very well. But he ought to stay off the ropes. He's given Diaz the advantage of that effective aggressiveness and using his size by going up on the ropes. 4 to 2, Juan Diaz.
Here's an amazing statistic, guys. Through 6 rounds of this fight, and despite the fact that Marquez twice went 12 rounds with Manny Pacquiao, Juan Diaz has already thrown more power punches against Juan Manuel Marquez than anybody has ever thrown against him in a 12-round fight already.
Standards of this fight, Diaz took a breather in the 6th, something that Ronnie Shields noted in the corner and told him to correct.
Ronnie hadn't had to work quite as hard here as he did in the Rocky Juarez-Chris John fight that preceded this. And he'll be trying to steer his man down the stretch for sure. Straight right hands landing for Juan Manuel Marquez. Left hook lands again for Diaz. Left hook, body shot, left hook to the body, all by Juan Diaz. Now Marquez tries to come back.
I don't know if Marquez is going to be able to maintain all the way through, you know, because he throws a lot of punches, but the fights with Pacquiao, he had a lot of in-between time. Diaz is pushing him a lot more.
And his mouth is open, Emmanuel, and he's breathing past his mouth guard. And it looks as though the stamina advantage is beginning to show for the baby bull.
Marquez has fought a bit with his mouth open since the 3rd round. The pace is something, as you noted, Jim, that he's not used to.
But he's landing a lot of clean blows. You don't get the reaction from the crowd that's whenever Diaz is, but he's landing a lot of clean blows still.
Especially in the middle of the ring, as Harold mentioned.
Yeah.
Two straight right hands by Marquez. 2 more big left hooks by Diaz. Drives Marquez back against the ropes. Lands a straight right hand of his own. Marquez trying to counter again. Diaz keeping the pressure on. He listened to Ronnie between rounds. He's not going to let the Mexican rest.
Everything, watch his face, watch his face. Listen, you still got to stay close to him, but look, all we got to do, Juan, you still, in the inside, we got to move his leg. Got to move it, got to